She slept with her phone under her pillow, like it was a lover. But the real giveaway wasn't digital. It was in her eyes that morning in Denver, when I said Grant's name by accident. The cheating bitch blinked, paused, smiled too fast. That's when I knew I wasn't crazy. She was. She slept with her phone under her pillow, like it was a lover. But the real giveaway wasn't digital. It was in her eyes that morning in Denver, when I said Grant's name by accident. The cheating bitch blinked, paused, smiled too fast. That's when I knew I wasn't crazy. She was. We were staying at the Kimpton Hotel Monaco in downtown Denver. Supposedly, a spontaneous getaway. Supposedly, to reconnect. Lauren made the reservation herself, even picked the room with the freestanding tub, said she wanted us to soak, talk, reset. She used words like rebuild and retreat. But her eyes. They were on her phone every 10 seconds. She had it face down, always. Carried it from bathroom to bed like it was a newborn. The screen never lit up around me, not once. Airplane mode. Passcode changed. Notifications hidden. She said she was detoxing from digital stress. Bullshit. I'm a doctor. I know what withdrawal looks like, and she was sweating from more than just guilt. Lauren's a financial advisor. Smooth. Controlled. Knows how to dress grief in confidence. We met in college, during a mandatory economics class. I was pre-med, exhausted, trying to pass. She was calm, charming, dangerously attentive. She had a laugh that made you feel like you earned it. But it was always curated. Even now, I realize, her kindness came with terms. That morning in Denver, she made us both coffee. Brought it in on a tray like she was starring in a Pinterest post. White robe, perfect nails, fake smile. 1 sugar, no cream, she said, just like always. I took the mug. Said, thanks, Lauren. Did Grant teach you that recipe? She froze. A flicker. Less than a second. Then the laugh, too loud, too bright. Who's Grant? She asked, tilting her head. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Her eyes already had. I let it go. Didn't push. Just drank my coffee and watched her walk back into the bathroom, heels clicking across the tile. She didn't close the door all the way. She never does when she's trying to act casual. I sat there, staring at the locked phone she left on the nightstand. Screen dark. Face down. Like a mirror that refused to reflect anything real. My name's Ethan Cole. 36. Born in Boise, now living in Colorado Springs. I'm an anesthesiologist. I deal in control, silence, monitoring. People trust me to keep them asleep and bring them back. But this was a different kind of coma. One I had to wake myself from. Lauren doesn't know I took 2 weeks off work. Said it was a last-minute hospital rotation. Truth is, I've been building my own kind of case. Watching. Listening. Noticing when she switches to Bluetooth to take work calls. Noticing when she suddenly needs to step out to grab wine when we already have 2 bottles in the kitchen. The night before we left for Denver, I followed her. She said she was meeting a client downtown. I stayed 2 cars back. Watched her park near 17th and Blake. Watched a man I didn't recognize get into her car. Watched them sit there for 30 minutes. No handshakes. No files. Just his hand on her thigh. I didn't take pictures. Not yet. That would have made it real. Instead, I memorized the license plate. Watched them pull away. I already knew I'd see him again. So yeah. That name, Grant, didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of my mouth like a test. And her eyes. They failed. She thinks she's clever. Thinks I'm too busy or too trusting. But she forgot what I do for a living. I know how to measure vital signs. And every time she lies, something in her body twitches. Just a little. Denver wasn't a getaway. It was a controlled environment. A sterile room. A test chamber. And I was done playing patient. She didn't ask why I said that name. She didn't bring it up once the entire day. That's how I knew it landed. Lauren only avoids what she can't spin. We walked the city like tourists, Union Station, Larimer Square, brunch spots she bookmarked weeks ago. She talked about work stress and office politics like I was the idiot husband who couldn't read subtext. Every laugh, every touch on my arm felt rehearsed. A rerun of our marriage, playing on mute. At lunch, she asked, "Are you happy with us right now?" Her voice dipped, eyes big. Performance level vulnerability. I looked her dead in the face and said, "I will be." She smiled like that meant something good. Back at the hotel, she took a nap. Claimed she had a migraine. I sat in the armchair, just watching her breathe. Her phone was beside her on the pillow. Still face down. I could hear the faintest buzz every 15 minutes. Notifications were still coming, just silenced. Smart. But not smart enough. She left it unattended while in the shower. 5 minutes. I didn't need more. I picked it up. Face ID locked. Passcode. Changed. But she didn't know I'd seen her enter it once, reflection in the microwave, 3 nights ago. Muscle memory betrayed her. It worked. Her home screen opened like a trapdoor. Messages first. Nothing recent. Of course. But I went deeper, WhatsApp, Signal, even a folder labeled Finances. Nothing. Then I found the Vault app disguised as a calculator. Typical. Same passcode. I held my breath. It opened. Photos. Videos. Notes. I didn't click anything yet. I just stared at the dates. The most recent entry was 3 days ago. The night she said she was working late. The night I stayed up, alone, watching reruns of a show we used to love. The shower stopped. I heard the curtain pull back. Water dripping. I locked the phone and slid it exactly where I found it. She came out wrapped in a towel, hair wet, fake casual. "What are you doing?" "Just thinking. About whether this trip is working." She hesitated. "I think it is." I nodded like I believed her. Like I hadn't just seen the cracks under her surface. That night, she initiated sex. First time in weeks. Clumsy. Overcompensating. She kissed like she owed me something. And maybe she did. I watched her sleep afterward. Peaceful. Dreaming, maybe, of Grant. Of whatever life she's built outside the one she promised me. In the morning, she'd ask how I slept. I'd say, like a rock. She wouldn't know I was awake the whole time, counting the spaces between her breaths, listening for the lie in her silence. She thought she locked the truth behind a passcode. But I already saw it in her eyes. And now? Now I have the keys. The first rule of catching liars is simple: never ask questions you don't already know the answers to. So I stopped asking. We got back to Colorado Springs late Sunday. The house smelled like citrus cleaner and stale air. She walked in like nothing was broken. Tossed her bag on the couch, kicked off her shoes, and said, "I'll start laundry in a bit." I nodded. "I'll shower." Upstairs, I locked the bathroom door and opened the notes I took on her phone. I hadn't touched the Vault app again, I didn't need to. Just the folder names were enough. Red folder, 9:20 seconds. Build dinner, October 6th. G's playlist. You don't create a playlist for someone unless they live in your bloodstream. She made one for me once, years ago. Back when she used to care if I slept well after a double shift. I didn't cry. Not my style. I just took a longer than necessary shower, stared at the tile, and decided I'd make her playlist famous. Downstairs, Lauren had music on, something upbeat and empty. She was folding laundry. Efficient. Robotic. She looked up. "You okay?" "Yeah," I lied. "Just tired." She offered a smile, a brief one. "Me too." I almost said, from lying. Or from pretending to be in love with someone you pity. But I didn't. Not yet. Instead, I started noticing more. Micro-movements. Glances at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. How she always left the Bluetooth speaker connected to her phone when she cooked, but now suddenly used mine. Yours has better bass, she said. Bullshit. Lauren was editing her patterns. Smoothing over the chaos. Like a crime scene cleaner who doesn't know the blood seeps through. On Wednesday, I followed her again. She said she was meeting a client near Garden of the Gods. A local business owner needing investment strategy. Said it might run long. I parked 2 blocks away. Waited. Her car didn't move for 47 minutes. She stayed inside, windows fogged. I couldn't see him. But I saw her hand on the window. Flat. Still. Like she was steadying herself. Afterward, I drove home. Made dinner. She walked in like she hadn't just cheated again. Said, sorry, ran late. I kissed her forehead. You're working hard. She smiled. Trying. That night, I watched the security camera footage. I'd installed a dashcam behind the mirror in her car weeks ago, tied to my cloud. There he was. Grant. Beard, tan, soft hands that moved like he'd never done real work. She laughed at something he said. Then kissed him. Long, slow. Familiar. She'd kissed me like that once. Maybe. A long time ago. I didn't rage. Didn't break anything. I downloaded the footage. Saved it twice. Labeled the file, prescription. That's what this was going to be, me, writing the script for her cure. But first, I had to let her keep lying. Let her build her perfect version of reality. So I smiled more. Slept beside her. Let her believe I was recovering. What she didn't know was that I was preparing the dose. And she was already overdosing on the lie. She started wearing perfume again. Not the one I gave her. Not the subtle vanilla she used to spritz on her wrists before dinner with my parents. No, this one was louder. Muskier. Something new. Something for someone else. New scent. I asked on a Thursday morning. She didn't look up from her eyeliner. Just trying something different. That was Lauren's way of saying don't ask. So I didn't. I logged it like a physician, symptom, cause, expected deterioration. By now, she was gaslighting by reflex. She'd make subtle comments like, I know it's been hard for you at work, or, I think we're both just stressed. Always using we as camouflage. Meanwhile, she was on her phone more at night. Always turned away from me. Sometimes giggling. Once she whispered, I can't wait either. Then cleared her throat and said louder, sorry, just my sister. Lauren hasn't spoken to her sister in months. I started leaving post-it notes in odd places. Not for her, for me. A red one inside the coffee tin, he drinks it black, so does she now. A blue one in the laundry room, his cologne on her scarf, I don't wear it. I was creating a breadcrumb trail I could no longer trust my brain to hold on its own. On Saturday, she went to get her nails done. I timed it. 1 hour and 43 minutes. The salon was 15 minutes away. She came back flushed, with perfect nails, and no receipt. She smelled like wine and smoke. Her smile cracked at the edges when I asked if she saw anyone there she knew. Just the regulars, she said too quickly. Sunday morning, I pulled her phone back up from the cloud. I'd set up sync 2 weeks ago when I told her I was updating our Wi-Fi settings. The messages were mostly wiped. Except for one, missed in the cleanup. From Grant, you smell like me. I'm not washing that shirt. It was dated 3 nights ago. The same night she told me she had cramps and asked to be left alone. That was the night I slept on the couch. She thinks I'm falling for the act. Thinks my silence means surrender. But I'm not silent, I'm calculating. She's measuring trust like currency. I'm measuring leverage. That afternoon, I went to see a lawyer. No appointment. Walk in. Told him I wanted a separation agreement drafted quietly. Property division, asset freeze, spousal conduct clause. I added a line, in the event of infidelity, party B forfeits claim to joint property. He raised an eyebrow. You expecting her to contest this? I shook my head. She'll never see it coming. When I came home, Lauren was cooking. Something elaborate. Braised chicken, roasted figs, that quinoa salad she always said was too fancy for a weekday. She poured me wine before I even sat down. She was buttering me. Bracing for some confession. But I didn't give her the satisfaction. You okay? She asked, voice light. Best I've felt in weeks, I said, sipping. She smiled. I smiled back. She thought we were healing. I knew we were staging a funeral. The day I found proof wasn't dramatic. There was no shouting, no screaming, no running mascara or shattered glass. It was a Tuesday. Cloudy. Quiet. The kind of day that lets betrayal settle in your lungs like ash. Lauren was at work, her usual Tuesday client stack. I stayed home, feigned stomach flu. She kissed my forehead before she left. Light. Dutiful. Like checking off a box. The second the door closed, I went to her closet. Not for evidence, I'd already found that. This was a ritual. I needed to see who she thought she was. Tucked in the back was a tote bag I hadn't noticed before. Brown leather, too high-end for errands, too low-key for meetings. Inside, a small pouch of travel-sized perfume. A charger. Gum. A lacy thong with the tag still on. And a folded note. It wasn't addressed. But I didn't need an envelope. You smell like night. I keep thinking about the last time. You laughed when I kissed your hip. I want that laugh in my bed again. Grant. Handwritten. No date. Just folded once, then again, then tucked like a keepsake. She was keeping him like a secret poem. I didn't react. Didn't crumple it. Didn't burn it. I took a photo. Saved it to a folder on my secure drive labeled Witness. Then I went to her laptop. The one she thought I didn't know the password to. Lauren is smart. But she's not smarter than habit. Her password was the same as it was when we filed our taxes last year, her mother's birthday. She never changed it. Thought I never noticed. Her email opened in 2 tabs. One was her work inbox. The other. An encrypted account. Alias name. Gmail. Password saved in browser. Inside, I found the thread. It had been going on for 8 months. Weekly emails. Sometimes more. Hidden in bland subject lines like client follow-up and Q2 pitch edits. They weren't all sexual. That would have been easier. They were worse. He called her L. She called him G. They talked about music, recipes, running into his kids at the grocery store. He'd sent her a photo of a painting his daughter made. Lauren replied with, "She's brilliant, like you." Like you. That's what snapped something in me. She used to say that about me. When I came home after 20-hour shifts. When I pulled patients out of cardiac arrests. She'd say, "You're brilliant, Ethan. I don't know how you do it." Now she gave those words to someone else. A landscaping marketer with a Spotify playlist and a soft jawline. I emailed the entire chain to myself. Blind copy. Then I downloaded the attachments, 3 images of Lauren I'd never seen. Hotel mirror selfies. One with her biting her lip. One wearing nothing but his shirt. They weren't pornographic. Just intimate. Real. Designed for him. That's what made them cut. At 4:37 p.m., she texted me. "Lauren, headed home. Want Thai or Italian tonight?" I stared at the screen for a second too long. Then typed. "Me, surprise me." She thought she still had the upper hand. Still believed she was dancing undetected. But the song had changed. And I was composing the finale. I didn't delete anything. That's what mattered. The emails. The photos. The note. I archived everything, then stored copies on 3 drives, 2 physical, 1 cloud-based, under an unrelated business shell. I'd learned from malpractice cases, evidence dies in emotion. Keep your hands cold. By Thursday, I had what I needed. But I wasn't ready to confront her. Not yet. I wanted the lie to stretch a little more. To crack under its own pressure. Let her perform. Let her build her little world on matchsticks while I watched with gasoline in hand. So I made dinner. Bought wine. Played her music while I chopped onions. When she walked in, she looked relieved. Like maybe she thought I had moved on. Like maybe this was our second act. She kissed me. Long enough to taste like something else. I kissed her back. Let her believe I missed her. We ate. Laughed even. She told me about a coworker's meltdown, some intern drama. I nodded, asked the right questions. It was easy. Like sedating a patient before the incision. Later that night, she fell asleep on the couch. I stayed up. Not for her. For Grant. I had made a dummy Instagram account, someone local, someone attractive, someone with just enough mutuals to get accepted. I messaged him 2 days ago. Friendly. Flirty. No pictures. Just suggestion. Tonight, he responded. Grant, hey, have we met? I waited 10 minutes. Then replied, not yet. But you seem familiar. From a hotel, maybe. He didn't answer right away. I imagined his pulse. His uncertainty. His eyes flicking to his messages while Lauren lay sleeping in his scent. An hour later, he replied. Grant, you sure you got the right guy? I didn't answer. Just left it hanging. A seed of paranoia. The first twist of the knife. Meanwhile, I printed the email thread. Every message between them. Stapled. Labeled. I tucked the packet into a plain envelope, sealed it, and wrote one word across the front, truth. I wasn't planning on mailing it. Not yet. The next morning, I called our financial planner. Asked for an appointment to discuss individual holdings. Said Lauren wouldn't be attending. I framed it as future planning. A quiet divorce. I also called a friend from med school, now a lawyer in Denver. Told him I needed a private consult. Off record. He owed me a favor. I saved his brother's life 4 years ago after a fentanyl overdose. Now he was repaying the debt. That weekend, Lauren suggested we visit the farmer's market. It's been so long, she said. Might be nice. I agreed. Wore the watch she gave me 2 Christmases ago. The one she engraved, to the man who sees everything. Funny, really. She bought flowers. We drank overpriced coffee. She kissed my cheek and smiled into the sun like we were lovers, not cohabitants in a countdown. I looked at her and thought, you really don't see it coming. By Monday, I'd filed for legal separation under preliminary grounds of emotional betrayal and breach of marital contract. My lawyer advised against citing infidelity until public confrontation, timing mattered. I'm building a wall, I told him. She'll hit it before she ever knows it's there. He nodded. You want it clean? No, I said. I want it permanent. The reveal wasn't public. Not yet. I owed her the courtesy of private ruin first. Saturday morning, I asked her to meet me at the Garden of the Gods overlook. Sunrise. I told her I wanted to talk, her favorite pretense. She wore soft colors. Light makeup. The wife costume. Is this serious? She asked when we parked. I didn't answer. Just handed her the envelope. Truth. She hesitated. Then opened it. The email thread. The photos. The note. A screenshot of the vault folder list. The text from Grant. Everything. A quiet explosion in her hands. Lauren didn't speak. Her face drained. Lips parted like she was about to deny something, but the files made that impossible. I spoke before she could twist it. You lied. You rewrote our marriage in secret. You turned me into a placeholder. You kissed him in my car. She flinched. That part hit. I know everything, Lauren. Every name. Every date. I have footage. I have copies. And I have no intention of dragging you through court. You're going to sign everything. What are you? Listen. She froze. You will agree to the separation. You will sign the property division. You will not contest the asset clause. And in return, I will not send this to your job, your clients, or your parents. You'll disappear from my life with the dignity you haven't earned. Her mouth opened. Ethan, please. No. I wasn't angry. I was surgical. You don't get to beg. You don't get to explain. You had a year of chances. This is the result. She started crying. Quiet, ashamed. I didn't care. Do you love him? I asked. She didn't answer. Do you even know why you did it? Still silence. That's what I thought. I walked away. Got in the car. Left her there with her betrayal and the rising sun. By noon, the documents were signed. She emailed me confirmation with the subject line, agreed. That night, I made one final move. I sent the photos, not to her boss, not to her parents, but to Grant's wife. No caption. Just the images and a single sentence. Your husband is a liar. So is mine. This is me ending both. By the next morning, Grant had deleted his Instagram. Lauren's number was disconnected. I didn't feel better. But I felt free. 3 days after I sent the email to Grant's wife, the fallout began. I never got a reply. Didn't need one. But I did get a call, from an unknown number. Denver area code. I let it ring out. 2 hours later, another came. This time, a voicemail. Female voice. Quiet. Controlled. This is Madison Atchison. I know who you are. I know what you sent. Thank you. Click. That was it. No tears. No questions. Just acknowledgement. Lauren didn't come home that week. Not once. Her clothes were still in the closet. Her perfume still lingered in the sheets. But she was gone. I knew where she went. Grant. Of course. She thought she could rebuild with him. Thought betrayal could be a foundation. But he was already burning. Word spread fast. Mutuals saw the photos. A few whispered comments on LinkedIn about professional boundaries and ethical complications. Lauren's social accounts went dark within 48 hours. Grant's company removed his profile from their leadership page. Just unavailable. No statement. By Friday, my lawyer received a message from hers. Full agreement. No contest. No demands. Just silence. It was over. I cleaned the house. Every drawer. Every cabinet. I packed her things into 3 boxes. No notes. No ceremony. I changed the locks. Blocked her number. Cancelled joint cards. Transferred the car title. I left the boxes at her sister's place with a post-it. No forwarding address. Saturday afternoon, I saw her once more. At the grocery store. She didn't see me at first. She looked thinner. Pale. Eyes darting. Like she expected the world to collapse any second. She reached for the same bottle of wine we used to share. That's when she saw me. I didn't look away. Didn't smile. Just nodded once. She opened her mouth, but I walked past before any sound could escape. She doesn't get a last word. Not anymore. I drove home. Alone. Windows down. Music off. The silence didn't hurt. It felt earned. There's a myth that revenge is about fire. Explosions. Drama. It's not. Revenge is clean. It's controlled. It's you standing in the ruins they built, and choosing not to save them. The divorce finalized 3 weeks later. No court appearance. Just signatures on a screen. No apology. No apology needed. I kept the house. The savings. My name. She kept her silence. People asked questions, of course. Friends. Her coworkers. A few mutuals from college messaged me with hollow sympathy, relationships are hard, or, hope you two find peace. I didn't reply. Let them wonder. Lauren moved to Denver. I only know because she filed a change of address for her credit report. An apartment under her maiden name. The name I erased from every document I control. Grant's wife filed too. Public record. Civil petition citing irreconcilable betrayal. She's smart. Precise. Like me. I kept the emails. The photos. Not for revenge. For memory. A scar you don't cover. The playlist Lauren made for him. I copied it. Rebuilt it. Same songs. Different order. I play it sometimes when I run. Reminds me what blindness sounds like. I see her now and then. Not in person. In moments. The mug she loved still in the cabinet. A hoodie I didn't throw away. A hair tie under the couch that somehow survived the purge. But she's not here. Not really. One night, I saw a car parked outside for too long. Same model she used to drive. Same shade of gray. It pulled away when I stepped out. She still wants a piece of me. But I'm not giving her one. This isn't a second chance. It's a sealed file. I changed hospitals. Switched my shifts. Went private. Quieter hours, fewer emergencies. The work is different. Less adrenaline. More precision. Suits me now. I started therapy. Not because I'm broken. But because I want to know why I let her lie for so long. The therapist asked me once, would you go back if she changed? I laughed. Cold. Honest. She didn't change, I said. She revealed. And that's all you need to know. The truth wasn't in her phone. It was in her eyes. And now? I don't look back.